Chapter 9. Misty and the others stood at the double doors of the castle. Valric pushed it open and waved everyone inside. They filed in, Lexion being the last. A staircase led to the second floor that split into two paths, each having a wooden door. The main level mirrored the top, with the doors on each side. "It's too quiet here," Valric whispered. Misty nodded. "Yeah, I agree." "So, who do we have here?" a voice said. Their eyes focused on the stairs in front of them, where they saw a man with fire-red hair. He carried a flame sword with a long maroon tunic and golden shoulder pads. His pants were dark blue and had plated knee-high boots. His dark red eyes glared at everyone. "Who are you?" questioned Kalik. The man laughed. "I am Xander. You must be the heroes I've been warned about." "Don't worry. Your journey ends here." Lexion flew forward. "Where is Liana?" "Oh, you're looking for that angel. You must be Lexion. You know, she was saying how you were going to come and rescue her," he mocked. "That Lexion will find you and he will save me." It was fun putting a muzzle on the bitch. Lexion grabbed his spear. "How dare you talk about her like that?" Xander chuckled. "You're pathetic. Now face the wrath of my fire." He thrust his sword forward. Burning inferno! The ground beneath their feet trembled as it ripped open. Lava spewed from the crevices. Valric leaped to the stairs and slammed his hammer against Xander's blade. "Too slow, metal man!" Xander shouted as he pushed Valric away. Kalik knocked an arrow, aiming for Xander's shoulder. As she fired, the arrow flew past Viviana and inches away from Valric. The arrow was blocked by Xander. "Fire barrage!" Xander shouted as he held out his hand. Fireballs formed and shot outward towards everyone, spiraling out of control. Everyone dodged them by sidestepping out of the way. They pushed forward, heading to the right door on the main floor. Valric slammed his hammer down to bring Xander off balance. "Hurry, go now!" Valric shouted. "Not so fast." Xander jumped and levitated. He spun around. The hot air around him turned bitter cold. His fire hair turned icy blue, and his clothes changed into different shades of blue. His fingers of frost shot out ice shards. "Keep going! Run!" shouted Valric. The next room only consisted of several operation tables and trays on rolly carts that carried tools for surgery. Blood stained the stone floor. They continued to the next room. Misty glanced behind her to see Valric charging in, but Xander followed close behind, forming ice shards from the chilling air. Misty rushed back to help him, blasting fireballs with each dancing hand she put in front of her. She took out her daggers and charged at Xander, putting herself between Valric and Xander. She lunged her blades at him, only for Xander to parry her away and push her aside. Misty glanced at Valric as he quickly took out a spellbook. He flipped through its crisp pages. He stopped on one and placed his hand on the page. Slamming the book shut, he thrust his hand at Misty. Beneath her, a circle appeared with a golden glow. Light enveloped her like a warm blanket seeping into her skin. Her movement seemed faster as she dodged Xander's incoming attack. Misty sidestepped his ice shard barrage. She glanced at Valric to see him run through the door. She ran to it, grabbing hold of the handle and slamming it shut. She knew it wouldn't stop him, but it would buy them a few seconds. The next room was nothing more than a storage facility. Crates of grain, vegetables, and packed meat sat in the cold room. Misty could already see the others running through the next door. Misty hurried only to hear the door shatter behind her. She glanced to see Xander's eyes burning red as he ran towards her. Misty slammed the door shut and dashed up the stairs that spiraled upward. They came to a hallway where a metal door stood at the end of it. "She has to be in there. I just know it," Lexion shouted. The door pushed open with ease. He was right. On the opposite side of the room was his friend. her hands pinned to the wall with stakes, her white wings also pinned and stained with blood. Her white golden dress was covered with blood. Misty eyed the angel, but also eyed what sat in the center of the room, a pedestal with another scarlet rose set upon it. In a mere instant everything became silent to her as she stepped towards the rose. She saw Lexion and Kalik run by to try to unpin his friend. That left Valrak, Viviana, and Lloyd guarding the door. As Misty stepped closer, she heard whispers. She couldn't make sense of what they were saying, but she heard them. Fire flew past her. She knew that Xander had caught up to them, meaning Valrak, Viviana, and Lloyd were holding him off. From her front view, Misty could see one of the angel's wings fall as it was unpinned. Misty reached the glass in which the rose was encased in. Like a treasure chest, she lifted the glass. Misty could see the spark of magic from the rose that wrapped itself around her. Join us. Make them suffer. The Dark One will rule again. Forgive and surrender. Misty grabbed the rose and absorbed its magic. This time there wasn't a burning sensation, but the marks on her body wrapped around her arms now. Her eyes darted to Lexion, who now wrapped his friend in holy energy. She could feel the warmth of the light as it twisted itself around his friend. A golden glow like sparkling dust filled her inside. Kalik had her bow ready to strike as she pulled back the arrow. Misty turned to see Lloyd on the floor near a wall and Viviana opposite of him. Valrak was being lifted off the ground when Misty snapped back to reality. "You're pathetic. Light cannot save you now. You all will die here." Xander threw Valrak, who slammed against the wall near Lexion. Xander knelt on the ground as bones snapped and crunched. His body became disformed. Misty saw him erect horns and long needle-like spikes ripped through his spine. "The burning flames of hell will awaken, and the world shall belong to the lords. You cannot win. Our mistress will set the darkness free. Makora will send the lords of hell upon this world, leaving ash in their wake. The boy of purity shall become a god." His body finished its transformation. Hooves became his feet, with bulky arms with claws as fingernails, long tendrils with needles ripped from his sides. "You all will serve or die." He lunged forward at Misty. She sidestepped his attack. He crashed into the pedestal, shattering it instantly. Misty's eyes burned with fire. She danced her hands in front of her, sending out a barrage of fireballs. She snapped her fingers, and her burning eyes switched to icy blues, just like Xander's. She spun around, and a wave of ice coated the floor, freezing Xander in place. Kalik fired an arrow, piercing him through the neck. He could only laugh. "You cannot defeat a servant of hell. The flames will consume you." Breaking free from the ice, Xander slammed his foot on the ground. The wood cracked and crumbled beneath their feet, bringing them all down with it. They crashed on the main floor, where Xander broke the floor again to the basement. As they fell, the solid stone floor crept up on them. Xander landed first. Vines ripped through the stone, wrapping themselves around the others, saving their fall. "You cannot win." Xander took a deep breath and exhaled, breathing fire, swaying back and forth. Misty rolled to the side, avoiding the attack. Lexion and his friend flew in the air, grabbing hold of Kalik. Viviana and Lloyd were behind his attack. Valrak shielded himself with holy light. Valrak charged, blessing his hammer with the light. He slammed his mace against Xander's body. He fell backwards, but only regained his footing. Misty blasted fire from her fingertips. Xander dodged every attack and dashed towards her. Misty shot an ice shard at him that impaled his shoulder. Kalik fired 2 more arrows that ripped through his body. Valrak charged forward and slammed his hammer against his spine. He roared in pain. Lloyd dashed, driving his blades through Xander's chest. Viviana raised her hand, entangling Xander in vines. In a flash, Lexion drove his spear through Xander's heart, becoming face to face with him. Your reign of destruction ends here, Xander. You die and take your place in hell like a demon should, Lexion spat out. No, demons will always be reborn in the flames of hell. I'll return stronger than ever. Then you will die. Xander's words faded as he spat out blood. His body disintegrated to ash. The castle began to tremble, causing their vision to become dizzy. They wasted no time heading through the door and down the hallway that led outside. The sun blinded them before revealing a cliff, and the vast ocean was in their horizon view. And that is the end of the chapter. So, what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. Well, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. We are definitely nearing the end of the story. So, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And remember to be the best you can be. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!